people in my extended family actually said, "ये भी पागल हो जाएगी."
She comes and asks me what happened at therapy. I'm like, I don't want to tell you. I was like, I talked about you. I don't want to tell you. Are you anxious anytime?
Why not? Maybe I'm anxious about sitting in front of you and diffing.
Go with this expectation that एक घंटे में my entire life will get solved.
Yeah.
My entire life problem will be fine. So we किसी को depression हुई तो all of a sudden the effect is gloomy and it's all dark and like the person's crying and they're not able to talk. So I told her that just because I can put my work first and I can go and put on a strong face does not mean I'm not having a bad day.
Life is not black and white. It's mostly a shade of grey.
Hi guys, welcome to the G Spot where we spill, heal and feel. Whether you're baking, overthinking, healing or just hanging out, you're at the right spot. Today we have a very special guest. I actually call her my second mother. She's my mom's best friend and I absolutely love her, but she's also a psychologist who's actually very famous around Delhi. So please say hi.
Hi. As she said, her second mom and also her mom's mom.
Yeah.
That's a title I've given to myself.
Yeah.
Very convenient.
Whenever my mom has an issue, she runs to you. And that is why I wanted her to be a guest today, because I feel like a lot of us today are going through issues that we need to talk about, but we don't end up talking about them.
You're actually in a very good generation.
Yeah.
Because you people have accepted the role of a therapist very well.
Yeah.
And in fact, so many times you're going to be challenging your parents. I have parents who, will call up for an appointment and say, my son wants to see you, but I really don't know why.
Yeah.
You know?
My mom did
So,
that.
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys do that.
Yeah.
And I think that is, not everything is wrong with your generation.
I agree.
A lot of it is very sorted.
My favorite part about this generation is that at least we can admit that we're having a bad day or we're mentally not feeling the best.
Absolutely.
It's like, I think people conceal it a lot. Like even my mom, she would feel like it's a shameful thing if she's having a bad day. And now, touch wood, I have spoken to her so much that she is able to accept the fact if she's having a bad day.
Yes.
And for her also, the first time I went to therapy, she was like, what is wrong with my child? Like there is no way.
That, when my background is that I studied commerce in school, and I thought that I'm going to do, probably an MBA or a CA, very typical thing. And I saw my brother work from morning to evening, and I'm like, okay, this is not something I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And that's when I decided, okay, my dad, being a principal of a very esteemed college in Delhi, he was an educator, he had the vision, and he didn't have any issues when I said I want to do psychology. But I had people in my extended family actually said, ये भी पागल हो जाएगी.
Yeah.
So I've come from that space where this is the word which was associated.
Yeah.
And thanks to your generation, that's wiping
It was a
out.
big taboo. It was not something people were happy about.
Not realizing
about.
that who is our clientele as a psychologist. It's people with everyday issues. It's not people with hardcore psychiatric illness. And even if it is.
I think till I studied psychology, I didn't even know psychiatrists and psychologists are two different people because people don't talk about mental health at all.
At all.
So they don't even know the basic difference. And the difference is so big, which I got to know when I studied about it.
Yes.
So, but it's honestly, I think it's a very good thing. Like now my mom also, like if I tell her I'm going for therapy, she knows I go to therapy. She's accepted it. She is supportive about it. She comes and asks me what happened at therapy. I'm like, I don't want to tell you. I was like, I talked about you. I don't want to tell you. but at least they understand it now. It's nice to understand that people are okay now about mental health because it's छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं. But when people associate these taboos with it, the small things you can't talk about, and then they become big over time. My first question to you, just before we start the episode, is being a therapist, are you anxious anytime?
Why not? Anxiety, what is anxiety? First of all, you have to understand that anxiety is a feeling. It is also an emotion, so to say, Why is it not normal to be anxious sometime? Okay, for example, I am petrified of a visit to the dentist.
Yeah.
So when I'm going to go to my dentist, prior to that, I am going to be anxious.
Yeah.
Or there could be some people, who have travel anxiety. So what is wrong with that? The problem becomes when anxiety totally overwhelms you.
Yeah.
When it gets into the disorder situation. But how is it not normal to be anxious?
Yeah.
If it's okay to be happy sometime in the day, you're not happy all the time.
Yeah.
You're not sad all the time. But if there are moments when your anxiety is a reaction, there is some fear, there is some worry. Reaction to that is that you're feeling anxious. How can that be wrong? And how can I being human, not go through that.
Yeah.
Of
I
course
think
I do.
everybody's anxious sometime or the
Yeah,
other. People just
yeah.
don't understand that it's not a
Maybe I'm anxious about sitting in front of you and laughing.
anxiety becomes an issue where it starts ruining your day-to-day functions because mentally you're
Yes.
not feeling at
So
peace.
anything, if you're an angry person, so you have to understand that some people get ticked off more easily than
Yeah.
others, right? You do say, oh, वो तो बड़ा anxious है, वो तो बड़ा aggressive है. तो as an adjective हम वो term easily use करते हैं ना कि वो, oh, that person
Yeah.
is damn aggressive, that female is very aggressive. So that is also something, they're reactive.
Yeah.
So their reaction is aggression. If someone's reaction is anxiety, now if they get totally consumed by that, if
Yeah.
they're getting dysfunctional because of that, then it's a problem.
Yeah.
If someone is laughing all the time, that'll also be a problem now.
Yeah.
So if someone
Anything in
actually-
excess anyway
Exactly,
it will be an issue.
exactly.
Another thing is, what's the biggest misconception people have about therapy?
That one, you have some magic wand that you've come today
And you'll be fine.
and you'll be
One day.
fine after. And if they want to quantify how many months till I feel better, how
Yeah.
many sessions till I feel better.
You can't say that.
Not at all, because there's no one size fits
Yeah.
all. There is, you have every right as a client to sit with your therapist in 2 sessions and decide that it's not clicking.
Yeah.
The vibe, so to say, is not matching.
I think the vibe is very important.
It's very important. If that vibe doesn't match, therapy will never
Yeah.
work.
I mean, I've changed therapists, so I know that like if you
If it
can't
doesn't
talk to
click, it
somebody,
doesn't.
that you will talk to
Yeah.
somebody else. And
Yeah.
I feel like if you can't openly just talk about everything in front of your therapist, anyway, it's not going to help out.
Exactly.
And like I remember the first time I went to this new therapist that I'm seeing now, and my friends were like, "Oh, did it help?" I was like, "It doesn't work like that. Like a few sessions are going to be just me explaining her where I've come from, what my family is like,
Yeah.
what issues that have like made this anxiety thing a problem for me. Like I have to tell her for 4 or 5 sessions who I am, and then she'll be able to advise me on how to be better. So a lot of people
And also
still
in
don't
so
know.
many sessions, you may come out not feeling very fulfilled.
Yeah.
Not every session is going to be eureka.
Yeah.
You know, there will be sessions where even as a therapist, I can feel that something is amiss. I
Yeah.
didn't really get my whole out of it,
Yeah.
you know. So that thing is there. So there's so many layers of therapy
Yeah.
also.
Because I've seen a lot of people who try therapy once and they're like, oh, it didn't work out for me. And I was like, bro, आप एक घंटे में कैसे judge कर सकते हो? You have issues that have been going on for years, which are embedded in you, that you've all of a sudden realized. Now at least give yourself 4 or 5 hours before you decide it's not working for you. Because even when I first went, I was like, oh, it's just done.
Yeah.
1 hour, like, that's it. And it's so funny because you go with this expectation that ek ghante mein my entire life will get solved.
Yeah.
My entire life problem will be fine. That I think the biggest thing to take away from this is that you have to be patient and you have to experiment a little bit.
Absolutely.
Maybe one person doesn't work out, another person wait. Maybe after 3 sessions it
Yeah.
clicks.
But
You just
aren't you
have to
doctor
hang in
shopping
there.
for so many things?
Yeah.
You're doctor shopping for a physician, for a
But that's what I'm saying,
cardiologist.
like you give so many chances to a physician
Absolutely.
and an ENT specialist, and
Yeah.
because you're like, okay, this guy is going to fix me, but वो एक बार में fix नहीं होगा. Why can't we think the same about therapy?
That is changing,
Yeah,
thankfully.
it is changing.
Thankfully.
It is
that
changing. I like in the second last episode, my mom sat here and said that therapy is good. For me, that could have never happened. I think
Yeah.
that's something that I have worked with her a lot.
And you think of that generation.
Yeah.
I mean, she and me, our generation. Think of a generation before ours.
Where you never spoke about mental health.
No, it
Yeah.
wasn't even a concept.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to be a psychiatric patient with, some schizophrenia or some other psychotic illness who's been taken to a doctor.
Yeah, but it had
And
to be
then there are
that
ECPs
major
and, yeah.
to be taken to.
No
in
one could
account.
think
Yeah.
that now 90% of my sessions are parenting, family counseling, there is marriage counseling, relationships, and all of that. Only 10% of my work is with the so-called, psychiatric issues. A lot of it is everyday issues.
But it's
all
good
of
that
us
we're
have-
catching it before it becomes to that point.
Of course.
Like, I think if I have a little bit of an issue, I still talk to my therapist about it because I feel like maybe that could trigger something else in the future and make it into a bigger issue.
But that also shows that, Jia, that probably you've developed a working relationship
Yeah.
with your therapist now,
Yeah.
where you're not looking for a problem to discuss.
Yeah.
Where you've come on that comfort where you're sharing.
Yeah.
And that sharing is not always done thinking that this may have a role to play. It just becomes a part of your system
Yeah.
that you start sharing.
Yeah.
So that's a successful therapy session.
Yeah. No, it's going good, hopefully. Okay. The first segment I want to talk about is what anxiety, depression actually feel like. So when people hear anxiety, they just constantly jump to panic attacks. When people hear depression, they think it's about not getting out of bed and being quiet.
Dim lights.
Yeah,
and
it's like
beepy
the
eyes.
movies.
Yeah,
And the movie में किसी
absolutely.
को depression हुई तो all of a sudden the effect is gloomy and it's all dark and like the person's crying and they're not able to talk. But I, for one, know firsthand that if you're anxious, you can still be laughing with a group of people, but your mind is constantly going. Like it's like that scribble, and that's in your mind.
Yeah.
So what actually anxiety feels like and what it's portrayed like are two very different things. Matlab, what we used to see.
Yeah.
And we don't really understand that the person's having an issue till the time they're sitting in bed all day. And they're like, oh, you can't get out of bed. That's why you're like, that's how we know.
So, when you say anxiety to the listener, anxiety is going to be again that panic hai, racing heart hai. Yes, all of that is there. But is that all?
Yeah.
But a person who is very anxious could be sleeping a lot.
Yeah.
A person who's anxious could not be sleeping at all. A person who's anxious could be very irritable. A person who's anxious could be overdoing things. So it can manifest in many excesses.
Yeah.
And it's not so easy to diagnose anxiety.
Yeah.
Because it can be so many things.
It's also so many types of anxieties.
Absolutely. But a lot of anxiety that we see today is very different. It's more of social anxiety.
Yeah.
And it's more of anxiety coming from self-doubt.
Yeah. There's a lot of self-doubt in this
There's a lot
generation.
of self-doubt.
There's a lot of comparison. There's a lot of competition that was not there before this generation.
I'm not going to blame you guys that, okay, this is the generation, social media, this generation messed it all up. We as parents have also made mistakes in parenting, and that's a fact. This, when probably this generation of kids was really young, so you've heard, it's a very talked about term, helicopter parenting. You've heard that, okay? So when there's been helicopter parenting, so there's a lot of, you're literally hovering around and doing it for them. It's like homework and this and that. So till 8, 9, 10 years of age, this generation has had helicopter parenting.
100%.
And then when the child develops a sense of self and comes out on their own and suddenly are trying to do things on their own, or there's another sibling. So the parent is now busy helicopter parenting another one.
Yeah.
So this one's, ready to fly. You don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So a lot of that is also coming from the, that anxiety is coming from there.
Yeah.
It's not that you've got it all wrong. We've also done some wrong to you guys.
100%. How does anxiety show up in real life? Like, what are signs that we ignore and we just call it stress?
What is the excess in your life today? I had a very healthy sleep pattern, but I'm not able to sleep well now. For someone who's always functioning on a 6-hour sleep, he can't suddenly start complaining about stress and causing, sleeplessness.
Yeah.
So, or someone who's had appetite issues, someone who's had acne, hormonal acne. So, you have to see that you're comparing yourself and your situation with you vis-a-vis a couple of weeks, a couple of months back.
Yeah.
So that is important. Is there any excess in your behavior which is not apparently coming out of one situation? For example, me feeling stressed because I'm going to the dentist, very understandable and acceptable. But there's no big situation. But I have this general feeling of gloom.
Yeah.
I have this general feeling of, not wanting to do anything. Or I'm very irritable. I never used to be. I'm very withdrawn. I never used to be. So whatever is different in you, the first life skill we need in life is self-awareness.
100%.
And who am I? What am I? It's an exercise we do in therapy. Who am I? What am I?
Yeah.
That is very important.
And also, like, if we can't understand what's going on with us, if we can't pinpoint, like, when we're going through something, if we can't figure it out, we won't be able to talk about it.
Absolutely.
So, if I can't tell you what's going on, what I'm feeling, so then how are you going to help me?
And also, then so many times you may be just, misdiagnosing yourself.
Yeah.
Because that's also what we're doing.
It's very important.
A blanket of word ban gaya anxiety.
Yeah.
That everything is kind of shoved under that blanket. So to be able to really identify that, you need to go through this exercise with yourself if you're not with a therapist already.
Yeah.
So then you need to do this exercise with yourself where you ask yourself that, what is different in me today? What is making me feel like that?
Yeah.
So I say this so much to so many people in my therapy sessions or otherwise also, that when you're really running, you need to ask yourself, what am I running away from?
Yeah.
And it's mostly yourself.
Yeah.
you're very scared of sitting down, doing nothing, because that's when your mind is going to wander inwards.
Yeah.
And you don't want to focus inwards.
The next segment is a little on the lighter note. So I'm going to tell you some statements that I have seen people talk about and I have said them in the past, and you tell me if it's a myth or a fact. Okay. So the first one is feeling anxious for no reason means you're overthinking.
Not in the least bit.
So it's a myth.
Anxiety को सिर्फ एक thought से relate कर रहे हो. It's a feeling. It's a feeling that is going to come and go. And it is not necessarily only coming from overthinking.
Yeah.
It could be coming from a draining of mental energy over the past few days,
Yeah.
weeks, months.
The second one is if someone is social and laughing, they can't be depressed. And we already spoke about this.
Biggest.
So this is a very big myth. And I think people really need to understand how big of a myth this is, because I have been told on my face, I saw you like having such a good time at the event. How are you telling you're having a bad day?
So you're supposed to turn back and say, I'm glad my coping skills are
No,
on
I
point
actually,
so far.
touch wood,
Yeah.
I've been through enough emotional roller coasters in my life to know that that's okay. So I told her that just because I can put my work first and I can go and put on a strong face does not mean I'm not having a bad day. And I've spoken about this in the past as well. Just because somebody's smiling, don't judge them for having the best time possible. They might be having a hard time. So you need to be sensitive towards everybody. You need to be nice. Another one is you have to hit rock bottom for therapy to work out.
No, please. No.
I know that
you do not hit rock bottom because you started therapy when in time. On the contrary.
And you want to start before it's too late and too much into the issue.
Absolutely.
Feeling tired all the time is laziness.
That means that you are trying to talk about laziness being linked only to physical energy.
Yeah.
When was laziness only coming out of physical fatigue? Laziness can come when I've done nothing, but I'm mentally drained out. I don't have the mental energy. So, myth.
Feeling anxious is normal and everyone is dealing with it whether they realize it or not.
100%.
That's a fact. Okay, just because something is practical and right doesn't mean that it should give you peace.
Absolutely. Because it's never, everything is not going to be easy in life. Right? And just because something is the appropriate thing to do, the right thing to do, the better way to behave, doesn't mean that it's going to be easy.
Yeah.
And if it's not easy, it's going to play a little havoc in your mind.
It's going to be a little uneasy.
Absolutely.
To be settling in.
Yeah.
Okay, once you understand why you feel this way, it should stop affecting you.
It starts your journey towards healing. It's not that something, once you know it, it won't affect you. Once you know it, it's your first step.
Yeah.
It's your first step to dealing with the situation. But it's not going to be magical. Oh, snap, done.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen like that.
It takes time.
Yeah.
Okay. Therapy is like talking to a friend who can advise you better.
I hate to say it, but no.
No, it's a myth.
Because, and related to this is people telling me that, oh, I also want to become a therapist because all my friends bring their problems to me. Good. If you're an empath, if you're a good listener, you have some personality traits which are working in your favor, but there's a lot of training that is going to go into it. There's a lot of professionalism that's going to come into it. There's a lot of objectivity that's going to come into it. And to have a good friend who's a good listener and gives you sensible advice is, a blessing. But is that a therapist? No.
I was just thinking that it's so funny that we all believe so many of these myths, and we have been believing them for a while actually. I feel like so many of them, I'm touch wood now, they're coming out on the surface and people are understanding that it was a myth. But so many myths are still today being considered facts in our families, with our friends. And I think it's very important to understand that if something's making sense to you, then at least you can, try to cut yourself some slack. Like, you don't have to believe what people are making you believe all the time.
Absolutely.
Another thing I want to talk about is why so many of us feel like this. Like, we talked about how this generation is one of the most open and communicative generation when it comes to mental health. I would never imagine me talking to my mom about anxiety 10 years ago. I remembered the first time I went and told her, Mom, I have anxiety. Like, I just feel uneasy and there's nothing that happened today. So why am I feeling uneasy? And she was like, don't think about it. I was like,
shove it under the carpet.
I was like, Mom, if I could not think about it, I wouldn't think about it. So I think the biggest thing is that we have made it okay for some friend of mine to come and tell me she's feeling anxious, and for me to understand what to say to her and how to help her, which is a very big thing. But again, the biggest problem of this generation is also the pressure.
Yeah.
We're dealing with a lot of pressure to be doing a lot better in life and to be successful and to be mentally okay, to be successful, to be physically healthy. Like there's everything at once.
Yeah.
Now it's like all of a sudden I have to go to therapy, I have to also go for Pilates, I also have to go to office, I also have to shoot my podcast. So there's so much that we're all doing every day that I think this generation my mom also says it, like you guys take a lot of pressure on yourselves.
You want to do it and you want to do it best.
Yeah.
So you're actually not enjoying the journey at all.
That's the problem of this generation. I think.
You are not enjoying your journey. You're always running. You're running to achieve a goal. Did you stop and check, is my goal realistic?
Yeah.
You know, not everyone can have the same goal.
Yeah.
And that's not going to fit everyone. I cannot be thinking that my life should be like yours.
Yeah.
My life has to be a better version of what my life is. So that understanding, that maturity is very important.
Like your competition is yourself, not
Absolutely.
somebody else's life. And that's what I think I spoke about earlier as well, that social media, like you see somebody doing something and you feel like, I also want to do that. I also want to be like her. But you don't even understand that your goals are not the same. Your journeys are not the same. So how are you supposed to act like somebody when they're actually doing something completely
different?
People actually compare themselves to people in different fields now.
Yeah.
Like if I'm a dancer, you're comparing yourself to me when you were a singer.
You know, so there's so many factors. You can't be comparing chalk and cheese all the time and then feeling miserable about it.
I have like 4 or 5 things that I feel like it could be helpful to whoever's listening. So maybe you can tell me what is one thing that helps calm anxiety.
Deep breathing. Believe me, even when I did my thesis and I saw the result, I wasn't so convinced in my head.
Yeah.
Being a 22-year-old.
Yeah.
But when I sit today in my clinic after these zillion of experiences, these 20 years in my clinic, I can tell you nothing works like deep breathing.
Yeah.
This is a generation जहाँ पे YouTube तुम्हें breathing video भी दे रहा है, कर लो. That's what I say. बोर होते हो, हर बार एक नया video देख के deep breathing कर लो.
I remember the first time 4-5 years ago, somebody, I don't know who it was, a friend, my mom or somebody, and they were like, deep breathe. I'm like, what deep breathe, bro? I'm anxious. What do you mean deep breathe? I don't want to deep breathe right now because us time it's like, what are you saying? Like my mind is so fast. But when you actually pause for 5 minutes, it actually also shifts your mind.
Having water.
Yeah.
So whenever there is a very
also
big
washing
emotion.
my face helps.
Yes. Because whenever there's a very big emotion in your body, think being angry. You feel the blood rush. You feel your eyes are hot, your ears are hot, your face is flushed.
Hot
any emotion, when you're feeling a big emotion, there is going to be heat generated in your body. So the minute you have a couple of sips of water and you bring your reactivity down, you're going to be able to be closer to recovery mode. I'm not saying that this is like one miracle and you have water and you're a different person. But these are little steps. Have that sip of water, splash some water on your face, do some deep breathing. Trust me, it works.
Yeah. Another thing is one habit that can help you long term, generally in like our day-to-day life.
Journaling.
Yeah.
Journaling. Something so simple. And I've had clients who are much older, you know, working in corporate say, Dear diary karna hai. Like, Rohini, really? Dear diary, that's going to make a difference. But you won't, you know, how raw and bare you can be to yourself. You may not be necessarily that to me as well.
100%.
So that is very important. To go back, and that journal is a record. It's not going to make you feel miserable. It's going to be an example of your journey to yourself.
100%.
You're going to turn back 2 years later and say, shit, that was what I was feeling then. Oh God.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Or you may feel, oh God, I still feel like this.
Yeah.
This to still I need to work on.
Yeah.
So this is a journal, and the journal is just for you. You will not necessarily in every situation have a safe person to speak to.
100%. Yeah.
But you always have yourself.
I think another thing that I realized when I was writing was sometimes, like, we all make mistakes. We all do stuff that sometimes we're not very proud of. The very funniest thing was that sometimes I will not be able to admit my mistakes to you, even my therapist. Even my best friend, because I don't want to look like the bad person. Nobody wants to look like the bad person. But when you're writing, you actually can say, okay, dude, I messed up.
Yeah.
And when I write, I write as if that's a person. So I say you,
Yeah.
and I look like I'm talking to somebody. I actually write, okay, fine, I messed up. What am I supposed to do?
Now that you say it, and well, journaling was my first reflex answer, I would also say be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's
We're very hard on
important.
ourselves.
So many times we're very harsh to our own selves.
I'm very hard on myself, I know.
So be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
I think that is important.
One thing that can help during a panic attack.
Same.
Yeah.
Deep breathe. And also, at that time, again, don't think that something magical is going to happen. Have that water, do that deep breathing, and own up to your feelings. Don't try to shove it under the carpet. Things are going to happen in your life which you don't like.
Yeah.
But how much they are going to upset you and for how long, that is your choice.
Yeah.
It is going to make you upset. If something has happened around you which is upset you, it's a reality, right? And you cannot always control what people around you are doing.
Yeah.
But what is important is how much do I internalize this? So it's very important for you to speak to yourself at that time and say that, okay, this is something maybe, we always have that one person, like mom for certain things, dad for certain things, my best friend for certain things, my brother or sister for some, my therapist for some. At that time, okay, I need to talk to that person about it. I'm going to discuss this with that person.
Yeah.
So giving yourself a hope at that time that this is something which I'm going to attend to in a while, but let me snap out of this and deal with what is on my hand right now.
The last one is, how can we help ourselves if we're having a low day? Like if we're just having a bad day, is there something you can do to sort of make it better?
Be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Many times, a bad day is when you're feeling very shitty about your own self.
Yeah.
So it is your being. See, anger is different. When someone's wronged you, then you feel bad in a very different kind of way. I'm presuming you're not talking about that kind of bad. So that feeling of inadequacy that is coming, you have to understand and break your cycle of thought. You're focusing on your negatives. Remind yourself that. What is it right that I've done till now?
Yeah.
What is it? Okay, I didn't do that well in math, but what did I do fine in?
Yeah.
So, focusing, you have to see what is the faulty pattern in your thinking.
Yeah, 100%.
So it is coming out of that inadequacy की feeling. इस चीज को recognize करना बहुत important है.
The last segment, and to sort of make it very quick. So rapid fire segment, I'm giving you 10 questions, but you have to be very quick with it.
Okay.
Like it's the first thing that comes to your mind. So the first one is one emotion that we all feel the most, but we talk about the least.
Self-adequacy, and you'll be surprised, feeling of being jealous.
Most underrated coping skills.
Being kind to yourself.
One habit that we think is helping us but is not.
Multitasking.
My mom will kill me.
The need to keep multitasking all the time.
Yeah. But at least I know that it's wrong now. Okay. Is rest earned or allowed?
Absolutely allowed.
This question touched me on a very personal note because when I was at that wellness event in Shangri-La, they gave us all affirmation cards and they were all covered in envelopes. So you basically pick one and that's supposed to talk to you. Mine was allow yourself to rest. And I never allow myself to rest. Now I do. I never used to allow myself to rest. And now my therapist was also so happy when I got that card. She was like, I told you. I was like, okay, fine, I'm going to rest.
But then doing nothing is a very important feeling.
And honestly, I think nowadays it's a gift to be able to do nothing. Because
Absolutely.
everyone is having a very hard time doing it. But I'm trying. We'll get there.
Proud of you.
Okay, a feeling people mistake for laziness.
Low mental energy. Or I would say, to put it in better words, lack of motivation.
One sign that your body needs a pause, not a push.
When mentally you're pacing and physically you're not.
Something we have normalized but we shouldn't have.
Giving up on relationships very easily. And I don't say
That's
this.
the big one, yeah.
Yeah, because I see that in marriage counseling a hell of a lot. We're giving up a little too easily.
What does being okay actually look like?
Being resilient. I think being okay means accepting that there'll be tough days, but believing that I can pull through that.
One sentence you wish people said them to themselves more often.
You're doing fine.
I keep saying that to myself now. Last question is, what's your favorite thing about what you do?
That you're learning all the time.
Yeah.
I always say this, that 20% of my learning came from my books and 80% is thanks to all the people who trusted me and came to me, and
Yeah.
we had a working relationship.
Is there anything to end the episode? Is there anything that you want to, if anybody of you, any of you are watching till the end, is there anything that you want people to take away in particular that you want to emphasize a little more on?
Life is not black and white. It's mostly a shade of gray. So stop looking for absolute solutions. There is no one right answer all the time. And be patient and be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
That's
And
important.
that was it for this episode of the G Spot. I hope that there is something you could take away from it, maybe on a deeper level, maybe on a lighter level. Again, this episode also does not work for everybody. So if it didn't make sense to you, that's completely fine. But if it did make sense to you, and is there anything that you want to talk about? My DMs are always open. I always check my DMs, by the way. I know people don't believe it, but I always check my DMs. But yeah, that was it for now. If you're watching this, remember to be kind to yourself. That's what we're taking away from this mostly.
Yeah.
And I'll see you next time, the same spot.